Speaking of the board, I have a founding trustee right behind me. Everything you've done, and I feel as though I need to pass the podium over to Charles Strauch right now, and he can conclude with some remarks. Is that okay?
I've been told.
Go ahead.
Does this thing work?
Yes. Right here.
Are you hearing me? I've been told not to speak tonight, but since I'm a Landmark protege, we always break rules, and this is what we've been paid to do. And I just want to pick up on a lot of themes tonight. I'm older than dirt. I've been around this place for a long time, so I think I can probably match Bob in tears. And I just want to mention just a couple of things. And first of all, starting with my mate of 57 years, who is the most magnificent woman I could possibly imagine as a partner. When in the wisdom of Landmark, they decided to put her on the board, there was definitely an upgrade in that, I can say. But, I just want to talk about a couple of things. First of all, Chelsea, where are you? Right? Yeah. What did we raise tonight?
Well,
total. Do you have a total?
Oh,
If you
gosh,
can't you put that together?
all
Would
of
you
the
do that
budgets.
while I'm talking?
I will.
Yeah. Get me the total here, because this is going to be very important. Right. In any event, there's nothing like New York as a place like this, and this is a great crowd that looks like a bunch of New Yorkers. And I would like to challenge the president by saying that we're going to do this again. Because if you can't do it in New York, you can't do it anywhere. And so we must get Landmark on the scene, and if you can do it here, we can do it anywhere. Number one. Number two is the recognition that Peter mentioned, and I think it deserves a lot, is that in this room tonight, there are a lot of moms and dads. And I was talking with Vaughn. Where'd Vaughn go? Vaughn. And I asked Vaughn, Vaughn, how did you get the Landmark? Guess how Vaughn got the Landmark? Mom. So we had the graduates stand up. I want to see the moms stand up here. How many moms are there in the room? Right, moms, stand up. And I can tell you that as a, like I said, I'm older than dirt. Been around for a long time in this college. There is, in my heart, a lot of tradition to Landmark. And I can tell you that my picture, I had the honor of tonight, thank you whoever did that, of being in the same setting with Chad Drake, who founded this college. And I think it's very important. I apologize to those of you who've heard the story, but this college started out of Landmark School, and I'll try to make this short. My third meeting, I was the youngest guy on the board, and Chad called me and said, we're having a meeting today, and we have a major event we're about ready to announce. And I said, who's we? And he said, me, which is the way the place run. Chad ran the place. It wasn't trustees. And oh, by the way, any of you who sit on boards of directors, if you leave it to the board, I can assure you most stuff doesn't happen. Boards always try to figure out how not to do things. Leaders decide how they're going to do things. And we're so thankful to have a leader like Peter. I'm not asking you to ignore the board, but please charge on. In any event, Chad decided to have the meeting. This was in a restaurant called the Grand Cru, which is up in New England, up in Boston, North Boston. And I arrived at this place, and there were a bunch of old folks that were old enough to be my dad, or some of my grandfather. And Chad said that he had an initiative that he had decided on, and that was that he wanted to form a college. And he said that he had decided to do this now, and that he had just bought the campus in Putney, Vermont, that was owned by Wyndham College, and he bid $500,000. Mind you, the school was not in good financial shape, so the board all looked around and said, where'd you get the money? Well, there was a guy on the board who was a good friend of his, and oh gosh, my mind went blank, but who cares? But we'll think about it in a minute. And he had put up guaranteed the loan, and the bottom line is that the board went crazy. Said, you can't do this, and he said, well, I did. And so that was the story and how Landmark got started.